Welcome back to Talk About It in English. If you have been following our channel, you know that we do not just want you to learn vocabulary words. We want you to use them. We want you to speak about your real life. Today, we are tackling one of the biggest problems for English learners. It is a problem that happens almost every single day. Imagine this situation. You are at work, or maybe you are meeting a friend for coffee. You sit down and they look at you and ask the most common question in the world. They ask, "So, how was your day?"
It sounds like such a simple question. It is only 4 words, but for so many learners, this question causes a total mental freeze. Your brain goes blank. You know you did things today. You know you had feelings today. But in that moment, under pressure, you cannot find the words. So you just say, "It was good," or maybe, "It was fine." And the conversation dies right there.
Exactly. "It was fine" is a conversation killer. It stops the connection. But the reason you freeze is not because your English is bad. It is because you have not processed your day in English yet. You lived your day in your first language. You thought about your problems in your first language. So when someone asks you to suddenly switch to English, your brain has to do translation work in real time. That is hard. That is stressful.
So we are going to fix that today. We are not just going to give you a list of words. We are going to build a routine. We are calling this the end-of-day mental recap. This is a technique you can use tonight and every night. It takes about 3 to 5 minutes. You do it when you are lying in bed, or maybe when you are brushing your teeth.
The goal is simple. You are going to tell yourself the story of your day in English before you go to sleep. You are going to practice the sentences tonight, so that tomorrow, when someone asks, "How was your day?" the answer is already in your mouth. You have already rehearsed it. You are ready to speak with confidence.
This is perfect for our listeners who are around the A2 or B1 level. You have the grammar, but you need the speed. And to get the speed, you need preparation. In this episode, we are going to break this routine down into 4 easy steps. We will give you the exact sentence patterns you need for emotions, for your work or school tasks, for relaxing in the evening, and finally, how to connect it all together.
And if you want to make sure you keep improving your speaking skills every single week, make sure you subscribe to the channel right now. We cover a new topic every episode to help you build your life in English. All right, Mark, are you ready to start building our mental recap?
I am ready, Sarah. Let's start with step 1. This is usually where people get stuck immediately. They focus too much on the facts. They say, "I got up, I went to work, I came home." It is very robotic. It sounds like a police report, not a conversation.
That is a great point. When we talk about our day, we want to share how it felt. Facts are boring. Feelings are interesting. So step 1 of your nightly recap is to identify the main emotion of your day. Do not just say good or bad. We need to be more specific. Let's learn 3 high-level, natural ways to describe how you felt.
The first one is for those days when you worked really hard. You were tired, but tired is a boring word. Everyone says tired. If you want to sound natural, you should use the word drained.
Drained. D-R-A-I-N-E-D. Think of a sink full of water. When you pull the plug, the water drains out until the sink is empty. When you say "I felt drained," you are saying you have no energy left. It is a physical and mental feeling.
So, lying in bed tonight, instead of thinking, "I am tired," I want you to say to yourself, "I felt completely drained today." Let's practice that. Listen to the rhythm. I felt completely drained today.
That is a great phrase because it invites a follow-up. If you tell me you felt drained, I immediately want to ask, "Oh no, why? What happened?" You are starting a story. Now, what if the day was not bad, but it was just really busy? You were running around, doing a million things. You felt stress, but maybe good stress.
For that, we can use the word overwhelmed, but let's make it even more natural. Let's use the phrase rushed off my feet. This is very common in spoken English. It means you were so busy you never sat down.
I love that one. I was rushed off my feet. It paints a picture. It shows action. So if your day was chaotic and fast, tonight you can think, "It was crazy. I was rushed off my feet all morning."
Let's try one more emotion. What about a good day? Not just good, but a day where something stressful stopped happening. You were worried about a meeting, but it went well, or you were worried about a deadline, but you finished it.
The word for that is relieved. This is such a useful emotion. It means the pressure is gone. The structure is usually, "I felt relieved when," and then you add the event. For example, I felt relieved when the presentation was over.
This adds so much depth. Compare these two sentences. Sentence A, my presentation was good. Sentence B, I felt so relieved when the presentation was finally over. Sentence B is real English. It is how we actually talk to each other.
Exactly. So tonight, your first step is to pick one of these words. Was I drained? Was I rushed off my feet? Was I relieved? Was I frustrated? Pick one emotion and make a full sentence. This sets the tone for your whole story.
Now that we have the emotion, we need to support it with evidence. We need to say what actually happened. This brings us to step 2, the highlight reel. We are not going to list everything. We are going to focus on the wins and the struggles.
Right. Nobody wants to hear, I typed emails for 4 hours. We want to hear about progress or problems. Let's talk about progress first. A great phrase to use for your mental recap is, I managed to.
I managed to. This is a grammar pattern that implies something was difficult, but you did it anyway. If you say, I finished the report, it sounds easy. If you say, I managed to finish the report, it sounds like a victory.
Yes, it implies effort. So think about your day today. What was hard? Maybe getting to work on time was hard because of traffic. You can say, traffic was terrible, but I managed to get there on time. Maybe the internet was down. The internet was down, but I managed to send the email.
This is perfect for the end-of-day recap because it makes you feel good about yourself before sleep. You are listing your victories. I managed to clean the kitchen. I managed to go to the gym.
Now, let's look at the opposite. Sometimes we do not win. Sometimes the day is frustrating. We need a phrase for being stuck. A very natural phrasal verb here is to get bogged down.
Bogged down. That is a funny sound. B-O-G-G-E-D. A bog is like a swamp, deep, wet mud. If you walk in a bog, you get stuck. You cannot move fast. So to get bogged down means you spent too much time on something small or annoying.
Exactly. You wanted to finish a big project, but you got bogged down in emails. You wanted to clean the house, but you got bogged down with phone calls. So if you had a slow day, tell yourself tonight, I meant to be productive, but I got bogged down with paperwork.
I use that one all the time. It is a great excuse, too. Sorry I didn't call you. I got bogged down at work. It sounds professional, but honest.
Let's give them one more pattern for the work section of the day. What if something just took a really long time? It was boring and slow. The phrase for that is to drag on. The meeting dragged on. The movie dragged on. It means it lasted longer than you wanted it to. So let's combine these. Imagine you had a tough day. You are lying in bed. You think, today was exhausting. The staff meeting dragged on for 2 hours, and I got bogged down in admin tasks all afternoon.
That is a fantastic summary. It is only 2 sentences, but it gives a complete picture of your work life today. And notice we are using the past tense, dragged, got. This is crucial. When you practice this at night, you are training your brain to use the past tense automatically.
That is the secret benefit of this routine. A lot of learners know the past tense rules, but they forget to use them when speaking fast. By doing this slowly at night, you are cementing the grammar. You are telling your brain, when I talk about the day, I use past simple.
Okay, so we have covered the emotion and we have covered the work or school part of the day. But the day isn't over when you leave the office. Step 3 is about the transition. It is about going home and switching off.
This is my favorite part of the day, and it is my favorite part of the recap. We need to describe how we went from busy mode to relax mode. The most essential phrasal verb here is to wind down.
Wind down. W-I-N-D, like winding a clock, but down. It means to slowly relax. You don't just stop working and instantly fall asleep. There is a process. Maybe you cook, maybe you read, maybe you take a shower. That is winding down.
So in your recap, you can say, when I got home, I took a long bath to wind down, or I cooked a nice dinner to wind down. It explains why you did the activity. You did it to change your mental state.
Another great phrase for the evening is to catch up on. This is very specific. It is used for TV shows, reading, or sleep. If you are behind on your favorite series, you watch 3 episodes to catch up.
So a common evening recap sentence would be, after dinner, I sat on the sofa and caught up on my favorite show. Or even, I called my sister to catch up. It implies you were reconnecting or getting back to where you should be.
And what if you were so tired you couldn't do anything? You just stared at the wall or the TV without really thinking. We have a great phrase for that too. It is to zone out.
Zone out. It means your body is there, but your brain has left the building. You are on autopilot. I was so drained that I just zoned out in front of the TV for an hour.
This is honest English. Sometimes when people ask, "What did you do last night?" you feel pressure to say something interesting like, "I read a book," or "I studied." But it is perfectly natural to say, "Honestly, I just zoned out. I did nothing."
It makes you sound relatable. People connect with that. So step 3 of your nightly routine is to describe your evening using one of these phrases. Did you wind down? Did you catch up on something? Or did you just zone out?
Now we have 3 solid parts. We have the emotion, I felt drained. We have the work summary, the meeting dragged on. And we have the evening, I just zoned out. But Sarah, we cannot just say these 3 sentences in a row. It sounds choppy.
Right, it sounds like a list. To make it sound like a story, we need step 4, the connectors. These are the glue that holds your day together. We need to move through time.
Most learners just use and then. I woke up, and then I ate, and then I worked, and then I came home. Please stop using and then 5 times in a row.
It is the most common habit to break. Let's swap and then for 3 better alternatives. The first one is by the time. This is perfect for showing a deadline or a limit.
By the time. For example, by the time I got to work, the meeting had already started. Or by the time I finished the report, everyone else had left. It adds drama. It shows urgency.
Use by the time to transition from your commute to your work, or from your work to your home. By the time I got home, I was exhausted. It is much stronger than I got home and I was exhausted.
The second connector is eventually. This is great for when something took a long time but finally happened. I was stuck in traffic for an hour. Eventually, I got home.
Eventually shows patience. It shows that there was a struggle and then a resolution. I struggled with the computer problem all morning. Eventually, I fixed it.
And the third connector is once. This is a sophisticated way to say after. Once I finished dinner, I felt better. Once I sent the email, I could relax.
Once is beautiful because it shows a clear boundary. One thing finished, the next thing started. So let's put this all together. Mark, I want to role play this. I am going to be the learner. I am lying in bed, staring at the ceiling, thinking about my day. I want to build a full recap using everything we just learned.
Okay, set the scene. It was a tough Tuesday. You had a lot of work, but you survived. Talk me through your mental recap.
Okay, here is my internal monologue. Thought 1, emotion. Today was intense. I felt completely rushed off my feet. Thought 2, work. I had a mountain of paperwork. I got bogged down in data entry all morning, but eventually I managed to clear my inbox. Thought 3, evening. By the time I got home, I was ready to crash. I cooked a quick meal, and then I just zoned out watching Netflix to wind down.
That was excellent. It took you maybe 20 seconds to think that?
Less, maybe 15 seconds. But look at the grammar and vocabulary in those 15 seconds. Rushed off my feet, bogged down. Eventually, managed to. By the time, zoned out, wind down.
If you said that to me tomorrow morning at the coffee machine, I would be so impressed. It sounds completely natural. And the best part is, you practiced it the night before. You are not searching for words. You are just remembering a script you wrote for yourself.
And that is the power of the end-of-day recap. You are writing the script of your life. Every day is a new episode. Every night is your rehearsal.
But Sarah, what about the learners who say, "My life is boring. I do the same thing every day"? How do they do a recap if nothing happened?
That is a very common question. I went to work, nothing happened, I came home. If that is true, then focus on your feelings about the routine. Did you feel bored? Did you feel content? Did you feel steady?
You could say, "It was a pretty standard day. Nothing crazy happened. I just kept my head down and got on with work."
Exactly. Kept my head down is a great phrase for a routine day. It means you focused and worked quietly. Or you could say, it was a slow day. I managed to organize my desk, which was satisfying. Even a boring day has small moments. Did you drink a good coffee? Did you hear a funny joke? Did you see a nice sunset?
So the challenge is to find the one small detail that made the day different, even if it was 90% routine.
Yes. Maybe you say, work was same old, but I managed to take a nice walk at lunch, which helped me clear my head. There is always one sentence you can build.
Clear my head. That is another good one for the list. Okay, we have given them a lot of phrases today. Let's do a quick review before we give them the final challenge.
Let's do a rapid-fire review. I will say the definition, you say the phrase. And listeners, you try to say the phrase before Mark does. Are you ready?
I am ready. Let's go.
Number 1. You are very, very busy and moving fast. You are.
Rushed off my feet.
Number 2. You are stuck doing something slow and annoying. You got.
Bogged down.
Number 3. You succeeded in doing something difficult. You.
Managed to do it.
Number 4. You stopped working and started relaxing in the evening. You started to.
Wind down.
Number 5. You watched TV without thinking because you were tired. You.
Zoned out.
Number 6. The connector that means at the point when I arrived.
By the time.
Perfect. If you got those right, you are ready for the challenge. If you missed a few, that is okay. That is why we are here. You can listen to this again tonight.
So what is the challenge, Sarah? What do we want them to do right now?
We call this the pillow challenge. Tonight, when you get into bed, turn off the lights. Put your phone away. Do not look at Instagram. Do not look at TikTok. Just lie there in the dark.
This is the only time of day when it is truly quiet. It is the best time for your brain to learn.
I want you to take 3 deep breaths. Then I want you to ask yourself, how was my day? And you must answer in English. You must create 3 sentences. Sentence 1, the emotion. I felt. Sentence 2, the main event. I managed to, or I got bogged down. Sentence 3, the evening. I decided to.
Say these sentences silently in your head. Then, if you can, whisper them out loud. Just a whisper. Moving your mouth is important. It connects the brain to the muscles.
If you do not know a word, do not touch your phone. Do not check the dictionary. Just explain around it. Keep the flow going. The goal is to close the day in English.
Imagine if you do this every night for a month. That is 30 days of practice, 30 stories about your life. The next time someone asks you, how have you been? You will have 30 answers ready to go.
It changes everything. You stop translating and start remembering. You start thinking in English because you ended your day in English.
And remember, it is okay if your sentences are simple at first. I feel tired, I worked hard, I watched TV. That is a start. Next week, try I felt drained, I worked flat out, I caught up on the news. Build it up layer by layer.
We really want to hear how this goes for you. So here's a request. Try the pillow challenge tonight. Then tomorrow morning, come back to this video and leave a comment. Tell us 1 sentence about your day using the phrases we taught you.
Yes, practice in the comments. I managed to fix my car. I got bogged down in traffic. We love reading your stories. It proves that you are using the lesson, not just watching it.
And if you found this routine helpful, think about a friend who is also learning English. Maybe they get stuck on small talk too. Share this video with them. You can be study partners. You can ask each other, how was your day? And practice these phrases together.
Speaking of practice, we have only covered the end of day routine here. But what about the morning? What about when you are getting ready, making coffee, planning your day?
That is a whole different set of vocabulary. Brewing coffee, heading out, getting fully awake. If you want us to make a video about the morning speaking routine, make sure you hit the like button so we know there is interest.
I would love to do a Get Ready With Me English lesson. That would be fun.
It would. But for now, focus on tonight. Focus on the recap. You have the tools, you have the phrases. Now you just need to do the thinking.
Do not let your day disappear without describing it. Your life is your best textbook. Use it.
Thank you so much for listening to Talk About It in English. We are so proud of the progress you are making. Keep talking, keep shadowing, and we will see you in the next episode.
Good luck with the pillow challenge tonight. Sweet dreams and think in English.
Bye for now.
See you later.
Wait, before you go, let's do one final bonus round for the advanced runners who are still listening. We talked about winding down, but what if you have too much energy at night? What if you can't sleep?
Ah, the opposite problem. You are wired. W-I-R-E-D. It means you have too much electricity in your brain. I was so wired after the concert, I couldn't sleep.
Wired is a great word. Or you can say tossing and turning. This describes the physical action of moving in bed because you are not comfortable. I was tossing and turning all night.
So if you have a bad night, your recap for the next morning could be, I was so wired last night. I tossed and turned until 3 a.m.
And that explains why you feel groggy the next morning. Groggy means you are awake, but your brain is still asleep. You are slow and clumsy.
So there is a full cycle story. I was wired last night, I tossed and turned, so now I feel completely groggy.
See? Everything in your life can be described in English, even your bad sleep.
Okay, now we are really finished. Go practice.
Goodbye.